Hi, welcome to Growing Home Acres. My name is Sarah. The video that we posted before with all of our pantry items and what our goals are for this month for the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge was actually recorded today. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm trying to be a little quiet because our little man is getting put down to sleep or has just woken up and going back down. And since that recording, which happened for us this morning, but you'll see it 2 separate days, my little man and I have both come down with fevers. He's got a cough. I'm all achy. So tonight's dinner is actually going to be very simple for us. We have some leftover stuff and some open things, so we're just going to use that up tonight. So tonight we have a leftover chicken breast. We're just chopping that up. We have 2 tortillas. We have a little bit of open cheddar cheese and 2 bags of open chips with just a little bit in it. So tonight is going to be chicken quesadillas and chips for our pantry challenge first night so that we can do something simple because nobody's really feeling good. My husband isn't feeling good either. He's been sick a couple days. So we're going to keep it easy tonight. So here is tonight's simple dinner since everybody's not feeling good. We had 2 large tortillas left. It's filled with cheese and chicken, and then I found a bag of baked Cheetos in our pantry when I cleaned it out. So I'm having some of those with it. So I know I mentioned last night that we weren't feeling well, and it just progressively got worse throughout the night. So my little man is over by Mom and Dave today, or this morning, so I could take a shower and kind of relax and everything. So my breakfast or lunch, I guess you would call it. Breakfast or lunch is going to be pretty simple again this morning. We're trying to use up the store-bought processed stuff that we have so we can make room for our garden and all of that, and try and eat a healthier food. So today, so it's about 11 o'clock, and we still have some English muffins that we're trying to get rid of. So I'm going to toast up an English muffin. We have kiwis, and I actually learned that those are very high in vitamin C. Actually higher, one kiwi actually has more vitamin C in it than a small orange. And then I have an open cream cheese from, let's see, organic farmhouse cream cheese that I'm trying to use up. And I have a little bit of our canned cranberry raspberry preserves open in the fridge. So I'm going to use that also so I can get that all used up. We do have more canned on our shelves and storage, but I do have this open jar. I'm going to try and, I probably won't use all of that today, but we're going to use that. It is super yummy. We will make it again next year, I think. So I'm going to get my lunch together. So here is my breakfast or lunch or whatever you'd like to call it. It's just the English muffin, a little bit of cream cheese, jam, and I believe these are Sun Golden kiwis that we have that I'm just trying to use up. So it was supposed to be me making the chicken noodle soup tonight, but because I wasn't feeling well, Dave made it for me. And then he just brought some over because I'm trying to avoid going over there with us being so sick. Oh, I'm sorry, the dogs. So I am having my chicken noodle soup with some of our store-bought bread that we have left. The plan is once we're out of our bread to only make bread ourselves, not to buy it anymore from the store. So a nice meal, hopefully nice hot meal to help us all feel better tonight. I'm so appreciative that Dave made it for us. I am having mine with a piece of bread and a little bit of butter tonight. Jack's breakfast is pretty simple this morning. We are using some of his baby oatmeal that he has left.
Now that he's over a year, I think he can have, I don't know what to call it, adult oatmeal or regular oatmeal. So I'm going to get this used up, and we still have some bananas in house, so I just mixed some bananas in with it. Day 3 of our pantry challenge. I am eating some English muffin that we still have from the store, the banana that Jack didn't finish for his breakfast this morning, and the leftover chicken noodle soup that Mom and Dave made last night that I couldn't make, or that I was sick, and then so they made it for me instead of me having to make it. Made it for us, I should say. And that is my lunch today. Sorry, the lighting in the camper kitchen is not the best. So I am feeling a little better tonight, so I am going to make dinner. In the pantry, I found a bag of this Bear Creek creamy potato soup mix. Probably bought it at the store when I was hungry one day and shopping the shelves when I shouldn't have been. And it calls for just adding water to it. And then you can spruce it up with some green onions and cheddar cheese and bacon and things like that. I am going to add water, but I'm going to start with the 5 cups instead of the 8 cups. Mix it all up, get it going, and then to get it to the right thickness, I'm going to use our milk. We are limited on milk with Jack drinking milk now, and we keep trying to up it from our milk supplier, and she gives us what she can, but it's not always enough. So I'm going to do the 5 cups of water, and then I will add whatever I need to with milk. Okay, so I added another cup to this just because I don't want it to clump. So now we're at 5 cups of water. Called for 8, but again, I'm going to add milk into it to get it to its desired thickness for us when to get it to its desired thickness once I see how thick it is after adding it. Sadly, I do not have a whisk with silicone on it. I really need one, so I try to be very gentle about my stirring. So it said just whisk it until the clumps come out. I've been okay getting any marks off the bottom of my Dutch oven with baking soda and vinegar and a little scrubby pad. I use a non-abrasive scrubby pad. That way I don't damage the enamel. Let's see. Still have some clumps. Alright, now I gotta wait 15 minutes. I'll see how thick it is and then add my water or my milk then if I feel like I need some. Okay, so it's been boiling a little bit. This is actually, I have to stir it quite frequently because this is actually low on the camper stove. It's not a huge flame, but it's still is pretty hot. So I added the 5 cups of water to start. It is definitely thicker than I want it to be. I'm going to start a cup of milk at a time. Until I get the desired thickness that we want. I think I'm going to add 1 more cup of milk. Alright. So I'm going to do 1 more cup. Yeah, that's perfect. I am not going to add the last cup of liquid to it. 8 cups would have been way too much. And this is actually enough soup for all 5 of us. Well, 4 adults and my little one who will try and eat from this. Sorry, dog barking in the background. So this is plenty of food. She at least left the room now. This is plenty of food for the four of us and my little man, who will try and eat from our bowls, even if he has already had dinner. It does not matter how much we feed him. He still eats and eats and eats and eats. He is a growing little boy. All right, so sorry for the dog barking in the background. And sorry for my hot mess of a counter, but this is pretty much our only counter space in the camper. So everyone has eaten. I have tasted the soup. Everyone liked it, but I think it's really salty. Now, I'm sick, so it's a little different for me than everybody else. My taste buds are probably off. I have a really bad stuffy nose. So with the soup, it is just the packet. We are going to add a few things just to kind of give it a little extra something. So I have some cheese. I'm going to sprinkle on there. I know, and I think it's salty, and then we're adding a bunch of stuff with salt. So we'll see how it does. Cheese. Because I'm the one that likes my bacon well done, I am going to take the burnt pieces because these ones do actually taste burnt. And then I will leave the less burnt pieces for us to maybe put in an omelet or something like that. And then a little green onion. And that is tonight's dinner. I am going to have a few buttered saltine crackers with it. Again, something super salty when I think the soup is already salty, but I feel like it goes well together. And that is tonight's dinner. I believe we are on day 4 of the pantry challenge. So day 4 pantry challenge, cleaning out our pantry of all of the store-bought box foods that we have. So I forgot to eat today. It is almost 1 o'clock. I'm going to do a pretty simple lunch, something small, because I will not eat again before dinner. We are supposed to be going to a family Christmas party tonight, but it looks like just my husband and my dad will be going. I am still pretty sick. As of yesterday, I still did have a fever. And my little man is getting better, but he still doesn't feel great. So we'll see if if his dad takes him. But I think he'll stay home with me. And Mom's not feeling great either, so she's undecided on if she is going to go to the party. She's got a cough. She doesn't have a fever or anything, but we obviously do not want to make anybody else sick. There are going to be children at the party, so we'll see. So it looks like it'll just be me and little man at home tonight and maybe Mom. So with that being said, I'm going to have a good sized lunch today, but nothing like super fancy. Made myself a cup of coffee, finally. Doing some cheese, some turkey. I got to use up this lunch meat before it goes bad, and it will be the last of the lunch meat. A couple pieces of hard salami. I pulled an orange to eat, but then I saw that I still had banana. I still had banana that my little boy hadn't eaten the whole thing of, so I'm going to have that. I don't know if I'll eat the orange, but just something simple. You're photo bombing or video bombing or whatever. Yes, I know there's, yes, no, I know there's turkey. And then I'm going to finish off this. Oh, maybe I won't finish it off. But I'm just going to have a little bit. I did not know. Where is it? I did not know these were actually in the pantry until I cleaned out my pantry the other day. I found a lot of stuff I didn't even know we had. That's one reason it is so important to keep your pantry organized. So this is my lunch for today. Really not sure what dinner's going to be. Sad. Not sure who's going to be home. It's just going to be me. If Mom's going to be here. If Mom's going to be here too, maybe that'd be a good opportunity to just throw one of those frozen pizzas in the oven. Do something super simple. Get it out of our freezer. Make a little space. But we'll have to see. We'll see who stays home and who goes. Okay. So, tonight's dinner. So, my husband and my dad went to the Christmas party. Mom is in bed, sick as a dog. I think she got what we had, maybe from watching Jack. I'm probably burning this a little bit. So, dinner tonight's just really going to be for me and Jack. I'm doing a little bit of leftovers tonight for both of us. But for Jack, I have a bunch of noodles left from the chicken noodle soup the other day. So what I did here, sorry, I'm holding my camera, so it's a bumpy ride. I made a little roux with some butter and flour. Yep, butter and flour, that's right. And I'm just adding a little bit of milk. Just going to make him a tiny little cream sauce here. Maybe a little more cream sauce than I planned. I usually end up doing that with roux. I always overestimate the amount of butter and flour I need for the amount of cream I have. That's actually going to be good, although it's a little clumpy. Alright, so I'm just going to mix this and let it cook for a minute. Okay, so I cooked the roux a little bit, made it bubbly. You can see in there, sorry for the shadow, I added just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. There we go, it's probably easier to watch. For flavor. And because of that, I probably will not have to add too much salt to it. Well, just a little shake. And then I'm going to add some pepper to it as well. I know, Baba, hold on. I make you dinner. Sorry. My sink, my stove, you can see I'm making a mess here. Now this is way more sauce than he's going to need. So I'm going to pour a little bit out, save it for later. We can make him something else with the sauce or add it to something we make in the next day or two just to use it up. Alright. Alright. So now what I'm going to do, he's had fish in the past, like cod, and I know he's had more than just cod, but so we have a can of tuna, and I need him to get some protein in him, and I don't have too much protein except for lunch meat. I try to avoid how much of that I give him because I know it's not great. So I'm just going to add some tuna into this. Mix it, break it up. Mix it in here. So I broke up the tuna, mixed it in there. I'm going to add some of the leftover noodles. Hold on, those are clumped together. Some of the leftover noodles from the chicken noodle soup. And this is probably going to be way more than he would eat anyways. Especially since he's not feeling well. He is not eating a lot right now. And there we go. I guess I made him kind of a little... I know, Bubba, Mama's making dinner. Made him his own little... Sorry, my bowl is spinning around here in my pan. His own little tuna helper, I guess. Little mac and cheese thing. And that is going to be Jack's dinner for the night. So dinner tonight for us, courtesy of Mom and Dave, is the tacos. Husband's got there was enough tacos so husband could have 3 of them. I am using one of my mom and dad's leftover tortillas, and I am just going to do a little burrito. We have our homemade jalapenos, pickled jalapenos, some sour cream, cheese and onion we still have, and I have a store-bought salsa verde that I bought before we canned our own, and I'm going to try and get that all used up. And that is going to be our super simple, easy dinner tonight. Alright, so I'm going to try to make an oatmeal bake this morning. That's new for me, but it's going to get rid of some of the stuff we have in the pantry that I don't need to have in there anymore. Okay. So it'll get rid of this old-fashioned oats that I had a little bit left of. It'll use up some of the toasted pecans I also have. I'm going to put some of those in there. So I have 3 bananas that I just mashed up. They're a little overripe. I have 2 of our well, they're not our eggs, but farm fresh eggs we get locally. Fun and exciting. Our chickens did start to lay eggs. We've been getting 1 a day. But because they're on antibiotics, we are not able to eat them right now. So I'm just going to mix this up. Actually, I'm going to add a splash of vanilla. This vanilla you don't need a lot of. My mom and dad got it from the Dominican Republic when they were on vacation years ago, and I use it just for special things. It's got a lot of spices to it, so it can be overpowering compared to our normal, American vanilla. So I'm just going to mix that all up a little bit, kind of get the eggs incorporated. I'm doing a heaping 1/4 cup packed brown sugar. Break that up. And I make my own brown sugar. I don't use enough brown sugar, so usually if I buy a bag, it gets hard before I can finish using it. So I just keep molasses on hand while I do this, or I keep molasses on hand at home. And then I just mix some brown sugar. I keep molasses on hand at home, and I always have sugar. So I just mix a little molasses into my sugar if I'm going to use brown sugar for anything. And then inside here, I have 2 cups of oatmeal, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a heaping teaspoon of cinnamon, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to just incorporate all that a little bit. It's just for the family, so if I'm using my hands, not that big of a deal. Add that in there. And I'm going to add, this is about 1 3/4 cups of milk. Also going to add in there. I did get a recipe from online, and then I just changed it just a little bit. Got a little more cinnamon in there than it called for. A little bit more milk than it called for, because for an oatmeal bake, I feel like I probably want mine a little wetter. Not like bread pudding per se, but just not like a bar. Alright, and then I'm going to add in some leftover toasted pecans I had. I think the recipe called for walnuts, but I had pecans. And then I also have just over a 1/2 cup. This is a full cup, but just over a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips I'm going to put in there. Everything's better with chocolate. And
And it should be pretty wet, I would assume. Like I said, this is the first time I've made an oatmeal bake, but oatmeal absorbs so much liquid that you want it pretty wet. I actually should probably have done a full 2 cups of water, but we'll see. And then I had to borrow a 9x9 pan from my mom. I just lined it with foil so it doesn't stick and used a little spray. Pour it all in there. Spread it out. I don't want all the oatmeal in the center. And then all the liquid on the sides. And our oven is very small. So I think what I'm going to try and do, so the bottom doesn't burn. You guys probably wouldn't have this problem. I need to do this. I'm going to see if this will fit. I'm going to turn that upside down so the bake isn't sitting right on the heat source. And then that's going to go on top. Yep, there's room. And then it will bake for 45 minutes. Sorry, I don't look great. Wasn't going to be on camera. It'll be baked. It's supposed to bake for 45 minutes, but I'm probably going to turn it every 10 or 15 minutes just to try if there's any hot spots in the oven. Just try and keep the bottom of it from burning. And hopefully it turns out yummy. So the oatmeal bake is done. It looks super yummy. I did steal a little piece. It tasted delicious. Tastes like bananas and cinnamon. You can see all the gooey chocolate in there. I think it is going to be sweet enough that I'm not going to add any. I'm not going to sprinkle powdered sugar on top. Or a little maple syrup would probably be good if you wanted it sweetened up. But I think for me right now, it is sweet enough. Like I said, my taste buds are a little off with me being sick. So stuff is either really salty or really sweet or, complete opposite. But right now, this tasted pretty sweet to me and it was delicious. So this is going to be my lunch. Tonight's dinner is pizza. I think we are on day, what is this? We are on day 6. And we're cleaning out some of the freezer. Mom and Dave got a pizza and we got a pizza over here. Mom and Dave put some mushrooms on one of the pizzas and then we kind of shared. And we just cleared 2 pizzas out of our freezer. So week 1 of the pantry challenge is all done. We cleared some stuff out of the pantry, a couple things out of the freezer. And so far we think it's been successful. We are going to keep on doing this and hope to continue to clean out our freezer and to continue cleaning out our pantry and freezer of things that need to be used up or things that we need to just kind of get out of there so that we can make room for the new items that will be coming in with the new garden season starting. Getting some of those older things out and the processed things out of our fridge and freezers and pantries or dry storage that we just don't want to buy anymore after this pantry challenge is done, and find a way to either do without those items or make them from scratch at home so that they're healthier for us. So thank you for watching us. Week 1 pantry challenge done and moving on to week 2. Thanks. Bye.